In question 5, we're asked to use the factor theorem and division to factorise a cubic expression completely. So it's important to use the factor theorem, and we do that by substituting values in to try and find where the expression is equal to 0. So we might start with f of 0. That will give us 2 times 0 cubed minus 0 squared minus 13 times 0. So all of those terms will be 0, but we've got a minus 6. So that's not equal to 0. And we might try f of 1. It's going to give us 2 minus 1, so 1 minus another 13, so minus 12 minus 6 is minus 18. And at that point we might want to use the calculator just to use the table function. So if we go into the menu and we select table mode, and then we enter the expression 2x cubed minus x squared minus 13 times x minus 6, and the settings, I've set them up to go from minus 5 to 5 at the step of 1, which will give us a reasonable range of values. And we can see immediately we've got one at minus 2 that's equal to 0, and another one at 3 that's equal to 0. So if we kept going and done 2 and then finally 3, we'd have found a value that's equal to 0. Therefore, by the factor theorem, x minus 3 is a factor. And we can set up the long division. X will go into x squared times, which will give us 2x cubed minus 6x squared. Those will cancel, but when we take away minus x squared minus 6x squared, we'll get plus 5x squared. And we'll need to bring down the minus 13x. So we'll need 5x, lots of x, to get 5x squared, which will then cancel, but we'll also be left with minus 15x. Minus 13 minus minus 15, or minus 13 plus 15, will give us 2x, and we need to bring down the minus 6. And we'll need 2 lots of x to cancel that, and happily we get minus 6, so we know that that works. So we have got a factor. And now we've got a quadratic, which is the remainder of the expression that we need to factorise. So 2x and x will give us the 2x squared. And then we want factors of 2. Well, we're going to need 2 and 1. 2 times 2 gives us 4x, and then another one will give us the 5x. So those are the remaining 2 expressions. And we fully factorised. The mark scheme gives us a method mark for trial value, another method mark for concluding that one of our trial values is a factor, and we can find 3 different factors at this stage. If we found x minus 3, then we should, when we do the division, end up with 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. If we find x plus 2, then we should end up with 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. And if we found 2x plus 1, we should end up with x squared minus x minus 6. Then there's an answer mark for the long division for the first 2 coefficients, so the 2x squared and the 5x. And another answer mark for getting the third coefficient. And then a final answer mark for stating the fully factorised version. So that's a total of 6 marks.